Now, back here, there are fears that more horse races could be disrupted after Saturday's controversial Grand National when the start was delayed by animal rights protesters. One horse died following a fall at the first fence after the race eventually did get underway. Its trainer claims the horse had been unsettled by the disruption prior to the event. The animal welfare charity, the RSPCA, today called for reforms to the historic race.
Saturday's Grand National was disrupted by a high-profile protest. A group called Animal Rising managed to break in past security and delayed the start.
And protests disrupted the World Snooker Championship at the Sheffield Crucible tonight. Two Just Stop Oil protesters invaded the arena just as the evening's session of first-round matches was getting underway. One of them managed to empty a bag of orange powder onto one of the tables. Play was suspended for cleaning after the protesters were led away. Why, you might ask, stop oil and snooker? A tricky one. We understand the thinking seems to have been that we will be snookered by new oil and gas. I mean, yes, really. It's about a pun.
Hello again.
And talking about another problem with the protest.
Yeah, and snooker being targeted this time. We've seen it before, protesters targeting Silverstone Grand Prix in the past, football, but this time the Crucible, the World Snooker Championship. In the position
Incredible
last
images.
night, organisers having to completely relay the table. I think they were hopeful that they'd be able to clean it up. They couldn't. They had to relay the table. They couldn't get that match back on last night. It's going to be put back on tonight, and it just means that they're going to have to go into what is usually a rest day to try and kind of, clear some of that backlog as a result of what played out. But yeah, extraordinary picture when you think of a protester kind of jumping on a table and throwing out the die as they did in that way. Yeah, very good morning. A security breach. 2 protesters arrested last night, a table having to be relayed. It's like nothing that's ever been seen before at the World Snooker Championship, that's for sure. It was a moment that drew gasps from the 480-strong crowd in there, gasps that are usually reserved for the displays of Ronnie O'Sullivan in that place. But whilst one protester was stopped from getting onto the table, the other was able to release that pack of orange dye all over the bays that Robert Milkins and Joe Perry were playing on at the time. Play obviously suspended, and as you can see how it looked afterwards, they tried to return that surface into a sort of playable condition. Masters of ceremony there, Rob Walker even involved in the clean-up, but ultimately it was decided to recloth the table for today. And as the BBC snooker reporter Jamie Broughton told us earlier on, security as well will be stepped up there at the Crucible.